who has a serious allegation in charge sheet in a way of a murder, conspiracy to murder, as well as the CBI in its charge sheet has alleged that Amit Shah was the leader of a extortion syndicate in Gujarat. Now from that party and that leadership, if you are expecting some moral steps to be taken by them, I think we are expecting too much.
Vani Tripathi Tikoo. Vani Tripathi Tikoo. I will give an example which will make you think.
Arnab.
I'll give an example that will make you think. 1 second, Vani. I'll give you an example that will make you think. And the example, I'm sorry to say, is this man called A. Raja, who I have no respect for. Even A. Raja resigned before charges were framed. In fact, A. Raja resigned even before an FIR was lodged. Now, there are some people in your government. For example, Uma Bharti. Charges framed against her in one of these cases. She's facing 13 in all, charged with section 153A, promoting enmity between groups, 153B, assertions prejudicial to national integration, 505 public mischief. The charges were framed in 2003. Come on, Vani Tripathi Tikoo, here's the opportunity. Are you going to let the people of this country down?
Arnab. No, this is erroneous on your part to define this as letting the people of the country down. Let me remind you that the Prime Minister himself wants to clean the system.
I'm not asking about your intent, I'm asking about your action.
Before he starts giving us gyan on morality, why?
Ashutosh comes back to
He's showing the way. He's
Ashutosh wants to say
where is the intent? Vani Tripathi should answer my question. A political party which has appointed Amit Shah as its national president.
I'm answering the question.
How can a political party appoint Amit Shah as a president?
Mr. Ashutosh, your party has also been doing arson on the streets of Delhi.
He was asked
your party has been doing arson on the streets of Delhi. So don't give us gyan. No, don't give us gyan on morality and ethics. But the Prime Minister has said,
do you expect some constitutional morality? Do you expect some democratic morality?
If you've come to give us a lecture on this debate, it's fine. You asked me a question, you don't even allow me to answer
Please answer my question. How can you appoint Amit Shah as
the Prime Minister has said not once, but twice and more than 2 times.
Please answer my question.
No, I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. Why are you talking with prejudice? Let the people who are accused, whoever are charged, be proved.
It's a fact.
Under
1 second, please. The question is, this debate is not about Amit Shah. Salman Soz comes back to the debate. Ashutosh, 1 minute. Ashutosh, the debate is not Amit Shah. No, 1 second. The debate is not Amit Shah. The debate is about an opportunity.
This is unfortunate.
The debate is about the debate. The debate is about an opportunity. You see, no. You see, Vani. Miss Tikoo. Miss Tikoo, don't sound like a congressperson. No, Miss Tikoo, 1 second. No, Salman Soz, don't take it otherwise when I say. No, one second. Salman Soz. Calm down, sir. Calm down. You know, there is the saying. There is the saying. You know, the shoe pinches when it's on the other foot.
Mr. Salman Soz, there was a Shukla committee report against your Chief Minister of Delhi, Sheila Dikshit.
Vani, I nowadays have a feeling. No, 1 minute. Salman, stop it.
I want to remind you. Before you start thinking at
Aryama Sundaram, Shazia. Shazia wants to come back to the. Salman, please. I must say, one of the most unintended consequences. So what's 1 minute, please. One of the most, and I say this with utmost sincerity to the viewers of Newshour, that one of the most unintended consequences of the Newshour debates these days is the BJP and Congress are sounding very similar every day. Indistinguishable.
We asked our ministers to quit.
Indistinguishable.
We asked our ministers to quit. Have they taken even one step?
You know this man. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Which party is he from, Salman Soz? No. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Which party is he from?
Arnab Goswami, have you forgotten?
Remind
the viewers how many Congress ministers had to quit.
Arnab, why should...
How many Congress ministers have to
Arnab,
quit?
why should there be no distinction
Answer the
between
question.
heinous crimes and political cases? Tell me that, Arnab.
Oh, you don't ask
I have a very serious question to ask you. Why should there be no
this is so
distinction
amusing.
between political cases
This is so
and heinous
amusing.
crimes? Why
This
should there be no
is so
distinction
amusing.
between the
No, one second. You see, Ashutosh has been a TV anchor in the past. And so has Shazia. Actually, let me say this.
One point.
One minute, please. Shazia and Ashutosh have both been TV anchors. Now they both know. They have more experience than... They both know that when politicians are cornered, they start asking questions. And I keep telling Ashutosh, I hope you don't get the bad habit, and Shazia, I hope you don't. When you're cornered, you still... So I just had the BJP and Congress say, I want to ask you, Arnab Goswami. I mean, come on. You answer my questions. You don't ask me questions. That right I reserve for myself. Aryama Sundaram.
Why don't you remind them? Why don't you remind them about how many people had to leave? They
One second. You know a man called Adhir Ranjan
and follow the
Chaudhary?
Supreme Court
16
guidelines.
criminal cases that he's charged with, including serious cases. Amrinder Singh, 3 criminal cases. DK Suresh, 8 criminal cases.
I want you to also... Why don't you talk about the ministers who had to leave when allegations were leveled against them? Will the BJP follow the Congress's lead?
And Mr. Salman Soz, how utterly hypocritical of you.
Yes.
Did you?
Let me say one thing.
Yes, Mr. Goswami.
Did you heed?
Yes, Mr. Goswami.
I know my
I'm
name,
listening
Mr.
to
Soz.
you, but remind the people.
Did you
Remind the
heed?
people.
Did you heed the observations of the Supreme Court, which in its verdict on July 30th says members of Parliament upon conviction shall be immediately disqualified? No, you didn't. You immediately promulgated an ordinance that strove to give them a 90-day breathing space. This happened just days before Lalu Yadav's conviction. You were protecting Lalu Yadav then. And that's when Mr. Rahul Gandhi opened his mouth for the first time.
And
Please.
the ordinance did not go anywhere.
Really?
The ordinance did not
and
go
did you
anywhere.
did you hit Aryaman Sundaram? Did the Congress party Aryaman
Sundaram? Prime
Sundaram?
Minister stand?
Ask Mr. Soz, please.
Where does the Prime
Listen to
Minister
others,
stand
Mr.
on the
Soz.
Supreme
Listen
Court
to others.
judgment?
Good manners, Mr. Soz. Aryaman Sundaram, did the Congress party heed the observations of the Supreme Court when in 2011 it had asked them to form an SIT to look into the black money controversy? Did they?
I think there's absolutely no doubt that BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, call them who they will, a politician is a politician. And so far as all the parties are concerned, when they found there was anything inconvenient, so far as their political agenda were concerned, they followed exactly what they needed. When they're in the opposition, they challenged the other party for doing exactly what they did earlier. And I really cannot understand all that the Supreme Court has said. We understand that the ministers are selected by the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister. But please remember that our Constitution, please remember, and I add to it, the people of India want good people to be ministers. Please keep that constitutional intent in mind. And please eschew people with bad criminal antecedents, people who are charged with very serious offences. And please eschew from selecting them. How can anyone object to this? Even if it was just a pious wish, how can anyone object to it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And let us not forget.
Nobody can object to that.
Arnab.
But the BJP seems to be objecting to that.
Oh,
I would like to...
Shazia is coming back.
I
5 minutes on the debate. It goes back to
objected
Shazia
to it.
Ilmi in Delhi. Shazia Ilmi before Vani Tripathi. Shazia. Shazia first before you, Vani. Yeah.
Yes, Vani, just a minute. If I may. Okay, as a former anchor, I do get a sense of deja vu because these are exactly the questions asked of UPA ministers, and this is exactly the answer we would get from them. Similarly, now the same questions are being asked and the same answers are being given.
Yeah.
But as a citizen, as an activist, as somebody who really sought a change and transformation, this is very disappointing. This hurts you because you really expected better. You expected a government with complete majority to use this opportunity to really make a difference. Let's go beyond BJP and Congress. Let's go beyond NDA and UPA and really think of how to restore faith in people, in democracy, in institutions, in the Council of Ministers. And keeping that in mind, I think it doesn't augur very well. I think political wisdom should prevail. Instead of being held to ransom by some ministers or some kind of ideology, Narendra Modi should call the shots and say, no, I take a stand on this.
This is exactly,
and people with serious cases, serious charges against them, I will keep them in abeyance. It's a very simple thing to do.
You know, this is such a golden opportunity, and if you choose not to do it, Vani, when people will say, what were you promising us before the elections? 1 minute. I want to remind the BJP tonight 3 things they promised before the elections. And if you're watching the Newshour tonight, you ask yourself whether I'm right or wrong. The first thing they promised was clean governance. Here's a great opportunity to do that. The second thing they promised was eliminating corruption. Here's a brilliant opportunity to do that. The third thing they promised was ending the criminalization of politics. Here's an outstanding opportunity to do that. The Supreme Court has given you, Vani Tripathi Tikoo, the means of doing so, and you're fighting with me on why you don't want to do so. I mean, what are you doing?
I'm absolutely not fighting with you.
You should say we will immediately implement the Supreme Court order.
Decriminalization of politics. Let me speak. Arnab.
That's not a slogan. It's we want to see you act.
Politics is absolutely important. The BJP has fought for it. Just a minute. I just want to ask Mr. Sundaram one thing. I have great reverence for him as a legal...
No, I want you to answer my question. No, 1 second. You are not a TV anchor. You are a politician. You answer my questions. Don't start asking questions. This is a very strange habit. You don't want to answer my question. You say, I'm going to ask the questions.
On the news
no. You don't do this. You answer my question. Ashutosh, is she trying to escape the questions? Ashutosh is laughing. Ashutosh wanted to be in a TV studio asking the questions tonight. No, Vani, we are not going to let you off the hook on this one. Ashutosh.
Give me 20 seconds.
No, I won't give you even 1 second.
No, let me speak.
No, I won't let you speak till you answer my question.
This Prime Minister has not just promised it. He's not just promised it, he means it. He means that the system should be cleansed, and it also is the onus of the Chief Ministers, as the Supreme Court says. So remember, this is not just in the ambit of the Prime Minister. It is also a
subject. I want to remind you. You all before the elections. Before the elections, you formed a group one day. No, let me tell you.
But tell me, Arnab, tell me. If you want to decriminalize the system. If you want to decriminalize the system, why do you not
last counters coming
from political cases?
I remember the day.
Why are you not doing that?
I remember one day.
Really want to decriminalize?
I remember one day, Vani, in the spring of 2014, when an excited BJP got together and ran to Rashtrapati Bhavan to tell Rashtrapati ji, ordinance sign mat kijiye. Don't protect the convicted MPs, This ordinance is illegal. The ordinance is unconstitutional. Now the Supreme Court has asked the Prime Minister to fulfill his constitutional responsibility by doing away with ministers who have criminal antecedents. Aapka to line badal gaya.
That is why...
You changed your line.
That is bilkul nahi badla. That is why he's saying fast-track courts should be put in place so that the people who are accused can actually be... People who are charged can be proven guilty.
Fine-tuning. Why are you fine-tuning today? Pehle to aap fine-tuning nahi karte the.
Let the Prime Minister leave. Don't put it on the court.
Aap ye fine-tuning kyun kar rahe? 1 second, Vani. Vani, Ashutosh has the last counter on the debate tonight. Vani, you are in a little bit of trouble, I can say. 1 second. Yes, Ashutosh.
Put them in there.
Yeah, Ashutosh.
I'm not.
You're laughing a lot.
See, no, I think we are expecting too much. Supreme Court is talking about the morality. This government and the BJP now believes in the raw power play, and the power doesn't recognize morality. So don't think that something is going to happen. Some minister is going to resign. It will not happen. Take my word.
Okay, 1 second. Last question. Aryama Sundaram, the Supreme Court worded it beautifully, didn't it? When it said it actually made it a moral dilemma for the government today. The government can choose not to do something, but it cannot avoid the moral debate.
In fact, Arnab, the Supreme Court went a little bit further if one really reads between the lines. While saying that they cannot impose any express prohibition which the Constitution and the Representation of People's Act does not have, and while recognizing the Prime Minister's right to select his ministers, and at the same time saying that it's the hope of every citizen that the best people be chosen, the most important thing is they said that it was implicit in the Constitution that only worthy persons will be so chosen, and therefore it was an incumbent duty on the Prime Minister to ensure that he discharged his constitutional function by choosing worthy people.
Yes.
And that is where what I call the real sting in the tail.
Well, I think they've phrased it wonderfully, and I think before the people of India, the Supreme Court has really raised a larger question.
Yes.
The only question we expect from our politicians is this: when will you be consistent? Thank you for joining me on debate number 3 on the Newshour tonight.